Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of our Booster Club members for your many donations and much more, your prayers. We visited faraway countries and strange lands. We've even spoken to dignitaries and were detained for spreading the glorious gospel in Cuba. The truth is that the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel were scattered throughout the world. Help us on our journey as we continue to raise up the nation of Israel. 12 tribes worldwide. Join or donate today. Shalom.
Right? You know what's been going on with the protests, coronavirus, all of that stuff, right? Now let me ask you this. There's a movement that we all familiar with, Black Lives Matter, right?
Right.
What do you think about Black Lives Matter?
It matters.
Black Lives Matter?
That's right.
Okay.
Life matters.
Life matters?
That's right.
Okay. So now, when they come out and they say Black Lives Matter, what does that really mean?
Black lives matter.
It really means Black Lives Matter.
That's what it means.
Who is that referring to?
People that's trying to destroy the black lives.
Okay.
Anybody who is against black lives.
Okay. So now, let me ask you this. The East Indian, is he black? Okay. Because there's East Indian men that are darker than you, right?
Right.
Okay. How about some Arabs? Some Arab men that are darker than us, right?
Right.
They black.
Right.
Right? Are they suffering the same oppression we suffer?
Not necessarily, but they going through changes too. You know, the Arabs going through, the Palestinians going through it with Israel. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Everybody going through it.
So check this out. Check
Got
this
the
out.
false Jews over them, false
Absolutely.
Jews over there in
Absolutely.
Israel. Yeah, they
Absolutely.
know.
But now the Arabs, do they have stores in our neighborhood?
Yeah.
Where's our stores?
Palestinians, they got all the stores around here.
Where's our stores?
Oh, we
Where our gas station at?
We done sold it. We done sold it to them. A lot of blacks had stores and we sold it to the Arabs.
So that's why I'm asking you. Are they suffering the same oppression we suffer? So when we say Black Lives Matter, they dark-skinned people too, right?
Right.
So now, do you see the confusion in that though? Because you say Black Lives Matter, then they should be out there as well marching because the same affliction happening to us is happening to them.
Yeah.
But we don't see the same affliction. When the last time you seen an Arab man suffer what George Floyd suffered, or suffer what Trayvon Martin suffered, or suffer what Sandra Bland suffered?
Right.
We don't see that, do we?
That's not happening.
So now, this is why we out here, my brother. This is why we out here. This is who we are. Do you see yourself over here on this sign at all? This is who we are. You got so-called American blacks, West Indies or Jamaicans, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and so on. Now these are also black people, right? But if you notice, these are the tribes of Israel, the sons of Israel, all right? The Israelites. You've heard of them in the Bible before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, read again Leviticus 5 and 1. Check
The
this out.
book of Leviticus, chapter 5 and verse 1. If a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing.
So now let me ask you something, brother. What does it mean to sin?
That which is against God's will or God's grace.
Okay.
Or you know. Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna read the exact definition, but you on point. You on point. Let's read the definition.
The book of 1 John, chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin,
Right?
transgresseth also the law.
Transgressing what?
Also the law.
Because God gave the Israelites laws.
Yeah.
Right? Read.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
Now let's go back to Leviticus 5 and 1. So now that we got the understanding of what sin is, let's read that again.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 5 and verse 1. If a soul sins
So now if a soul breaks the laws of God, go ahead.
and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness.
So now, there's a lot of times in our neighborhoods, in our communities, throughout America, throughout the earth, that we sin or we know of sin, we don't say nothing. Read.
Whether he have seen or known of it,
Whether you've been a witness, whether somebody told you about what went down, go ahead.
if he do not utter it,
So if he don't speak about it,
then he shall bear his iniquity.
then he shall what?
Bear his iniquity.
That means that you or me or the other person, we just as guilty as the one that committed the sin, right? So there's some sins that we commit on a daily basis in our neighborhood. Adultery, fornication,
Right,
hatred
right.
of our own people, right? Abortions, which is murder. Now we do this on a daily basis, right?
Right.
Where is the black man standing up to speak against these things in our community?
Right
give me
here.
right here.
Right here.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Now give me I want you to drop that. I want you to go to Romans 13. Now I'm gonna show you why these things are happening, because we just read a law. If a soul sins or hear the voice of swearing, if he's a witness, what's going on, my brother? If he's a witness of this sin, he's supposed to utter it, right? Now we understand what the scriptures say about sin. Sin is when we break God's commandments. We'll go into that in a minute. But now, do you know, because our people are marching for Black Lives Matters, and we're trying to seek justice in a system that's not set up for justice. Right? Do you agree with that? Is this system set up for justice, or is this system set up to oppress us? Okay. What do you think? To oppress us, right? Now, there's a reason that you see things the way they are. Everything that you see is set up because of us. Everything on this planet Earth, from the sun, the moon, the stars, to the ground we walk on, to the air we breathe, is set up because of us as a people. Nobody else, us. But because God was so gracious to give us all these things, as our righteous Father, He expects us to do what He commands us to do. You got children? You got children? So if you give your children direction, if you give them chores, you give them something that they're supposed to do, the first time that they don't do what you tell them to do, what do?
Chastise.
You chastise them. Now that chastisement may not come in the form of a whooping. Maybe you might just yell at them or just to get their attention, right? But let's say they don't do it again.
Restrict the privileges of all that.
So greater chastisement, right? Let's say they don't do it again.
Oh, wow.
That's us.
Disobedience.
That's us. You understand what I'm saying? Because God only gave His commandments to us because we are His people.
That's
all
right.
So now check this out. Let's get Romans 13:1. Let's see why we are suffering in our streets the way we are. And let's go into police brutality, first of all.
The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
So it says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. The higher powers are the people that the Most High God establishes. Right now, who is the higher power on the earth?
Government, white man.
The government, which is run by who?
White man.
The white man. So read that again.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Let's prove what you said is true. Hold that. Give me Job 9:24. Let's prove what you said is true. Because it's time for us to start getting some understanding why we're suffering. Because there's a way out of it, but we just ain't been taught. All right? That's why we out here, my brother. That's why we out here in the street. It's time for us to take back our community. It's time for us to rise up. We can't wait on nobody else to do this. So when we marching side by side and in hand with our oppressors, and we think something is gonna change, we've done this before.
Bring it out.
Listen, back in the 60s, when there riots down here in St. Pete for the same thing? Come on, man. Now a new generation is coming up. We going back and repeating the same process. Come on. You just had a man trying to run for mayor not too long ago. Kajimi said, you niggas, go back to Africa. Y'all know about that? He was trying to run for mayor. You know about that, right? Did he not say that? He said, go back to Africa. So now we supposed to march with him and get freedom? Get justice? Come on, read what you got.
The book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24.
Read.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The what?
The wicked.
So it says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. What's the most powerful government on the earth?
America.
United States, right?
America.
So now God is saying He has given them the power. So now let's go back to Romans 13. Let's get some understanding. Because what we're reading out of the same book, the same Bible that's been in the churches that our mothers and our fathers took us to, but your pastor ain't never read these scriptures.
Right.
They went. Yeah,
Read.
right.
The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
So now God is saying, let every soul be subject to the higher powers that he ordained. Read.
For there is no power but of God.
Read.
The powers that be are ordained of God.
You hear that? The powers he set up. Go ahead.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power.
Now here's the point. Whosoever resists. What's that mean to resist? Object. When we get pulled over, what often do we say?
What I did.
What I did.
Bring it out.
Why you messing with me? Right? And then what do the police say? Stop what? Stop resisting. You'll be like, I ain't even doing that. He's saying stop resisting. And now what? And now how I go down? Read that again.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God.
So now you resisting the white man. He says you're resisting the power that I set up.
Bring it out.
Now the Most High God is black. I want y'all to understand first and foremost. And this ain't no race campaign. This is a truth campaign.
Right.
This is what our God look like. You understand? This is what we've been taught. So now we got this confusion in our minds because we've been taught this, and so this man, we ain't going in his neighborhoods and robbing from him. We ain't going in his neighborhoods and turning his women into baby mamas.
Right.
We ain't going in his neighborhoods and dropping keys in his neighborhood.
Right.
You know what? But we don't see this as God. I don't see you as a God on the earth. I don't see you as a God on the earth. You's a nigga. That's how we look at each other. But yet our God looks like us.
That's
but
right.
We've been taught this, so this is what's in our minds. Read.
And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
Shall receive what?
Damnation.
Damnation is destruction. Meaning you resist. Many of our brothers and sisters that resist even a little bit, they've been what?
Yeah. But don't in Psalms 82 it say that ye are all God?
Yes, my brother, it does. Read on. Read.
Ye are all
Verse
God.
3.
Yes, that's not all it says. Read.
For rulers are not a terror to good works.
Rulers are what?
Not a terror to good works.
You know what the good works are? Oh, drop that. Get Exodus 18 and 20. We're going to
Bring
show
it
you
out.
what the good works are. It said rulers are not a terror to good works. Here's how you know that the Bible is a true book and a spiritual book. The popos will say to you often, well, come on, bro, if you wasn't doing nothing wrong, why you running? Don't they say that to us? No, I wasn't doing nothing wrong, but I don't trust you. And we have reason not to trust them. But he said rulers are not a terror to good works. Let's see what the good works are.
The book of Exodus, chapter 18 and verse 20.
Bring it out.
And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shall show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do.
And the work that they must do. Good works, okay? Drop that. I want you to hold Romans. I want you to get Exodus 22 and 16. I'm going to give you one example before we move on. I'm going to give you an example. Tell me if this doesn't happen in our community on a daily basis.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22 and verse 16.
Read.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed.
So if a man entice a maid or a man spit game to a sister, right? You see a sister walking past, she look good. Hey, shorty, let me holler at you, right? Read.
And lie with her.
And she go with that game, right? She like, you know what? Yeah, you kind of fly. I'm gonna get with you, you know. And in our hood, what we might do? Hey, I got some drink, I got some smoke, right? And then we go and entice her to lie with us, meaning have sex. Read.
He shall surely.
He shall what?
Surely.
What's that mean, surely? For certain. Read.
Endow her to be his wife.
He shall what?
Endow her to be his wife.
So he shall surely marry this sister.
Right.
And let me ask you something, brother. What's your name, by the way? Charles? All right, don't kill me well, brother. Does that happen in our neighborhoods? Every day. Every day we spit game, right? And then we go and lay with a sister, and the sister get pregnant, and then she come back and she be like, I'm pregnant. Well, what do we normally say?
It's mine. It ain't mine, is it?
It ain't mine, right? Go tell that Negro that got you pregnant. Hey, we only did it once.
Come on.
Can't be my baby. We only did it once, right? Right? Now, we just read, though, that we're supposed to teach our people the good works that they must do, right? All right, let's go back to Romans. So we do that on a daily basis, right? If you don't marry her, now we committing fornication and adultery, right? God said that we're supposed to be the greatest people on the earth. We're supposed to have dominion and set the example for all the other people to live. We're not doing that. That's why we on the bottom. That's why we suffering, and that's what we bringing out. Go ahead, read that again.
The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 3. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil.
So the rulers that God ordained, that's not just the police, that's the whole justice system.
Bring it out.
Are not a terror to when you're doing good, it's when you're doing evil.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.